Lesson 36.
Vosotros sois.
In this lesson, we learn yet another pronoun and yet another verb. Our pronoun here is vosotros, and the verb is sois. Vosotros means you in the plural, and sois means are. So together they say you are. But vosotros is different from the word tú, which also means you. Vosotros is plural, tú is singular. In English, it's the same word, you, if you're talking to one person or to multiple people. We would always just say you, but in Spanish, there's a singular you and a plural you. The singular you is tú, and the plural you is vosotros. So that's the main difference you have to get accustomed to here. But Antonio, the differences don't just stop there. Also, there's a difference in usage between the way Spanish is spoken in the Americas and the way Spanish is spoken in Spain. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the word vosotros and how it's used in Spain?
Yes, actually, the word vosotros is only used in Spain. It's not used in the Americas, in Latin America, nor in the Spanish-speaking community in the United States. It's only used in Spain. Later in the book, we will learn the way they say it in Latin America and the United States.
Well, let's not give it away now. Let's keep them in suspense, right?
Yes, that's correct. That way they have the incentive of continue their Spanish studies.
Right, that way they don't give up and quit now. So we'll keep them curious to know what's going to happen later. Okay, so vosotros is a form. It's a word they use only in Spain. In the Americas, they don't really use it. But we just felt that we needed to put it in the book so that our listeners and readers would be able to know about this word.
Yes, it's very possible that in other textbooks, this is the form that they are going to see. They probably will not see, or at least very often, the way they use it in Latin America.
For instance, I've seen some Spanish books that are geared toward teaching Spanish the way it's spoken in Spain, and this is the only way they tell you to say plural you. They don't even tell you the way it's done in the Americas.
In this book, that's a good thing that we're teaching you both ways of saying, speaking the language. We're gonna give you the Spain way and the Latin America way, which are not very, very different. It's just a few things.
Right. It's just a few small differences in usage.
Yes, and this will be one of those few things.
Also, we may have some British listeners who want to understand the way Spanish is spoken in Spain itself.
Or Europe.
Or we might have European listeners, English speakers living in other European countries who want to understand how Spanish is spoken in Spain itself, not necessarily in the Americas. Mm-hmm. So in this book, we're going to try to really cover both of those, the way it's done in Spain and the way it's done in the Americas.
Just like nosotros, we, vosotros also has a masculine form and a feminine form. And of course, vosotros, OS, it's only, you only use it when it's for a group of males or mixed genders, both males and females. And vosotras, it's only used when you're referring to a group of females only. Very important to remember that.
And there's one last thing to mention about the way we translate vosotros in our Spanish book. We're using a special word from the Deep South to translate vosotros, and that is the word y'all. Of course, I grew up in the southeastern United States, and there, when I was growing up, we always used the word y'all to address more than one person.
In other parts of the United States, you use the phrase you guys.
Right. Sometimes you'll hear people say you guys, but down south we say y'all. This is the same way I managed this issue in my first book, Getting Started with Latin, because in Latin it's the same situation. There's a singular you and a plural you. So you see in these Romance languages, as they call them, they distinguish between singular you and plural you. But in English, we just have one word to cover both, just you. So to help people to understand the pluralness or the plurality of the word vosotros, we're going to translate that as y'all, just to help us keep straight in our mind that that is indeed plural, and that when you use it, you're addressing more than one person. So really, the way we'll translate vosotros sois, in the answer key, really it will say y'all are. And if you are from New York or someplace up north, maybe you're not used to saying y'all, but at least you can play along and try to have fun with it as you go through the book. Well, let's take a look at our exercises. In number 1, vosotros sois means y'all are, and then mis amigos is my friends. So number 1 says, y'all are my friends. In number 2, vosotros sois means y'all are, mis means my, and hijos means children. So number 2 says, y'all are my children. Of course, literally, the word hijos means sons, but oftentimes Spanish speakers use it in a general sense to mean children, as in offspring. In number 3, vosotras sois means y'all are. Notice the as ending to vosotras. That means it's talking about a group of the female gender. And then hermanas means sisters. So number 3 says y'all are sisters. In number 4, buenas tardes means good afternoon. Mi means my, and amigo means friend. So, good afternoon, my friend. In number 5, we have the pronoun él, which means he. That's working along with the verb es. So ls means he is, mi means my, and papa means dad. So he is my dad. In number 6, el señor Smith means Mr. Smith. Then we have the verb es, which means is, and then mi hermano is my brother. So number 6 says, Mr. Smith is my brother. If the situation were different here in this sentence, and we were using the word señor as a name by which to address someone or speak directly to someone, then you would not need the article el. You would simply say, Señor Smith. But in this situation, we're not using the word señor as a name by which to call someone. In this situation, we're just making a statement about Mr. Smith. So in this situation, we do need the article el in front of the word señor. In number 7, adios means goodbye, and Señor Smith means Mr. Smith. Now in this particular case, we are using the word señor as a name by which to call someone directly. We're calling them by the name señor. So in this situation, we do not need the article in front of the word señor. So number 7 says, goodbye, Mr. Smith. In number 8, nosotras means we. Notice that it's feminine, referring to a group of females. Then we have the verb somos, but it's being negated by the word no. So nosotras no somos means we are not. Then we have the word niñas, which means girls. So number 8 will say, we are not girls. In number 9, we have the pronoun tú, which means you. Notice the accent mark over the letter U. Then we have the verb eres, but it's being negated by the word no. So tú no eres will mean you are not. Mi means my, and hermano means brother. So number 9 will say, you are not my brother. In number 10, we have the pronoun ella, that means she. Then we have the verb es, which means is. Mi means my, and amiga means friend. Of course, amiga is feminine, so it's talking about a friend of the female gender. So number 10 will say, she is my friend.